everyone, welcome to the finale of Arcane Season 1, I guess. I don't know if they're planning anymore, but...
I don't know. They could probably stretch it as much as they want, you know, based on one of the most successful game shows, video games, MOBAs, whatever.
Yeah, this is... If they don't greenlight a second season or something, they are crazy people. At least producer-wise. I'm talking creative-wise, they may intend for it to end with one season, and then it'll be on the producers when the second season sucks. All right.
Yeah. We're doing another one with or without you.
Thank you, not Neo, Neil Patrick. I don't know. I never watched the Matrix film. Anyway. Yes. So, in the last episode, things reached a fever pitch. Victor ended up getting his assistant killed.
Shame that. Jinx
seems to have broken into Caitlyn's bedroom. Into her shower, actually. So, theoretically speaking, Jinx has now seen Caitlyn naked before Vi has.
I mean, isn't that what she always wanted?
Actually, that
no, it's kind of the opposite of what she wanted.
Yeah. You have Vi and Jace teaming up to beat the shit out of people in the Undercity, because that's fun. And
of course it is.
You have Mel, who that is her name, I guess, because that's when we learned. Mel's mom showing up and being MILF of the Year material by just being like, I'm here to do war. I do war and war-related products.
I do, yeah.
War-related accessories.
War and war accessories.
All right, well, let's just not waste any more time. Finale, I'm excited. Let's hop right into it. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. New frogs.
There we go.
On the edge of greatness, turning darkness to light. I mean, when you go through 5 seasons of a show, man, you just get used to that.
Yeah, you know, the intro sticks with you.
Somber music. We just cut to Marcus.
The show would be improved by doubling the cuts to Marcus. They just like cut to a little like picture-in-picture window that just has Marcus in it.
That was another thing I forgot to bring up in the last reaction is
we're done here.
We haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah, I mentioned it during it, but like he has no fighting experience that we know of.
Oh, yeah.
Jace.
I mean, he's swinging a hammer. Like
he also had.
He seems like an academia boy, though.
I get that he's fit, but like,
do we just leave him here?
You've always been a part of this. You just never had to look it in the eye.
And then the porn music starts playing.
I thought you didn't want to fight anymore.
No, he doesn't want to fight kids anymore.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
I'll just let Silco go and let him keep killing all of the kids.
I like
At least
this.
it's not blood on my hands.
Jace might be my favorite character. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, him, Silco, these are characters I was not expecting to like.
Silco is really good, like, villain material.
Yeah. I don't like him as a person, but I like him as a character.
Yeah.
Also, I think it would be safer if you, like, did that with, I don't know, a gun or something, not
farther
like...
away? And then she just, like, cut to the next scene, and she's, like, soaked in the shimmer, like, oh god!
She's just, like, roiding out.
It gets into her little cuts, and she's like, fuck! That was dumb!
It's in my eyes! Did you know your eyes are holes into your body? I know that now! Oh, that's right. Heimerdinger found Echo, and, like, I like Heimerdinger, but Echo should have died.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we knew he was coming back because they didn't show the body, but like, I think it's like too little, too late.
Yeah.
So, I had watched episode 1 before we had started doing this reaction. Like, I watched episode 1 like the week this show came out, and I had dropped it after that episode.
And now here we are at the finale.
We'll see how we'll see.
I mean, so far the other episodes have made up, I think, pretty well.
Yeah, like especially like 4 and 5. Those were the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they actually did just leave him there.
Well, they left all the bodies there.
Yeah.
Where is Jinx anyhow?
Jinx that. Don't you talk about anything else. Help her with the... Yeah, see, mutiny. See, what I like about this is I know that taking out Silco won't solve things.
Yeah.
I didn't realize his hands are like, I guess, metallic or maybe stone material now?
Yeah. Oh god, are those bite marks? Those look like bite marks.
To make the world a better place. Huh?
No, they're scars, runes he carved into himself.
Yeah.
Everyone's got
Oh
to
yeah.
do it, right?
I thought he just did that on his leg. I guess he did that everywhere.
Well, no, he started with his leg as a test, and then he started expanding to the rest. So now he has 2 directions to go. Does he continue forward with what he was doing and finish what he did? Or does he scrap it?
Well, does he have anything to lose besides, like, I mean, like, I assume if he stops, he dies, and that's, like, the reason that he's been pushed so far.
Oh, is it alive?
Yeah?
Does it sense he's trying to kill it?
Is it Sky?
Oh.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, shit. It has a mind of its own. That's a bad thing. Sounds like a very unpleasant place to live. Why would you live in Noxus?
I mean, the word Noxus just sounds bad.
You're paying for the dry cleaning. You slept with my boyfriend. Oh, I love it when they do that in shows where they crack it open and they just slurp out. I actually want to try that. Is there like, do you do that with like lobster or something?
Yeah. If you don't have a fork, you just like give it the good old twist and pull.
You need to go to a lobster place that lets you to do that.
We're in trouble, man.
Cannibalism.
The man who killed your brother doesn't believe the score is settled. That our family.
She's not really worried about covering her ass.
Yeah.
If the last episode is anything to go by.
Yeah.
Because you weakened me. I couldn't endure the look in your eyes whenever I made the decisions, the necessary decisions to keep us safe.
Oh, I like that.
Let the war unfold.
Do not cave in. They banished you.
Come home. Take your place at my side. It's where you belong.
As father and son, we shall rule this empire.
Everything the light touches.
So how did he suck? Did he get like a Hoover and just get her off the ground? I need to see that scene now.
Such a low frame rate. Like, why they do the 2D animation at a lower frame rate than the 3D animation? It's always been a problem.
I don't think it's a problem in this. I think it actually works a lot for it aesthetically.
Well, I like that they mix 2D and 3D. I think they do that better than any other place I've seen it.
Oh.
But like, why'd they do the frame rate?
Am I interrupting?
Oh man, I like this. It's for a complete.
Hey, guess what? It's a parallel to
Complete
the
reversal.
Second episode.
Second episode, yeah, complete reversal.
Yeah.
They started cranking the engine and the whole thing was rattling. I thought a loose cog was going to take some...
Distinguished Innovators Competition spells dick.
You have to destroy it. I know. The hex core. I can't.
Oh, I thought you meant that puss.
I've already done that one.
In the pursuit of great, we failed to do good.
So was that cut of him running a future clip?
No.
Where does that fit into the timeline of this?
Dude, you have to know something's up here.
Back to back against whatever the world threw at us. Now I'm forced to share the air with parasites like you, who leech off their legacies.
Oh.
God, the panic on his face.
Fucking ace, Silco.
Were you tempted?
Not for a worm like him.
Talus. Jace Talus. Birds chirping. It's the birds. They're the ones. They're at fault for all of this. Oh my god, you really are evil. Just...
And you without your hammer.
How do you know about... Were you
I
there?
was reminded recently of what brought us together in the first place.
This is a menu from Applebee's.
Blanket amnesty, unrestricted access to the Hexgate sovereignty. You really think you're in a position to demand all this?
Oh, I like that.
Not the fresh-faced Academy pledge, are you?
You rotting in still water. But we can't make a deal with a snake and cut off its head. We both have our shitty parts to play.
Oh. Ooh. Oh. I love a good tense scene like that.
It's a transportation.
What?
It's not enough to give people what they need to survive.
Okay.
You have to give them what they need to live.
Okay. All right, show. You can stop it with the firelights now, please. Like, I get it. It's all about Heimerdinger.
They're good. They're good boys. Yeah.
You need to show more Heimerdinger of what's bad down here, I think.
All we ever wanted. Is there anything so
Oh no.
He's like the flip side of MILF.
Like the antithesis.
Yeah. Because she was, you know, like, I sent you away because you made me weak. And he's like, I gotta protect Jinx. Ah. What? What? You alright, buddy? You're freaking out?
Is Jinx gonna kill everyone? No.
That would be nice.
That is V.
Yeah.
That's Vi.
No, V's gonna... Okay, so she's just gonna kill one person.
Okay. I mean, I would have been down for a slaughter.
Yeah. And it's not even the solo from Freebird.
And she's dead. Fight's over. Oh, no, she has the juice. Oh, yeah, it was that guy. Okay. I forgot that we had this, like, guards out here. Oh, it's embedded in the wall. Hey, V, you kind of beat her last time with your bare hands. Well, actually, no, Caitlyn saved her.
Yeah. Is that gonna happen again? No, Caitlyn's got Jinx to deal with.
Well, your guard needs work.
Oh, man.
That's my girl.
Why did he tell me I could do that?
Yeah.
I think knowing the capabilities of these things is important. Oh. Oh! Yes!
That was nice.
Oh!
That was nice.
Fatality!
Ah, great.
Oh, I was wondering where Jinx was gonna show up.
Oh, I thought she was
Counselors,
off harassing Caitlyn.
Well, remember, then she was at the
the
statue.
underground have shown me two things.
I think she's like collecting people.
I'm not fit to govern the people.
Yeah. Huh.
City's independence.
What nonsense! We have procedures.
You see, this would be
why
more
do they-
dramatic to me if, like, we knew more about, like, what happens between there and the city.
Yeah, this is completely meaningless to me. It's like
I feel like the
why
information
do they
is
even
there.
want the Undercity?
Yeah, I feel like the information is there. It's just no one's provided it to us. Because all they're getting from the Undercity, as far as I can tell, is Shimmer.
Yeah. And if the council were like in on that, it would make more sense. But it's ridiculous. This is dumb.
Nothing ever stays.
I don't think it's dumb. I just think it's like we don't have the information to make it as important as they're making it out to be.
Yeah. But they gave us that like slow motion
that's
freak
what
out scene.
Yeah, I'm-
That's dumb. That's what I'm talking about. They're making it a huge deal, even though it doesn't necessarily mean anything to like.
Still, sisters. Nothing
We could be more.
To change that.
Oh shit.
I always knew you'd come back.
What's going on?
That's a neat trick.
He took everything from us. Right here, he stabbed Vampire in
I'm a bird.
the back. All the time saying you abandoned me.
Seriously, that bird is fucking evil, man. Don't trust the bird.
Liar.
Crow, bad luck.
Crows get a bad rap.
We're missing someone.
Oh, Milo, like, oh, the bunny. Missing someone. That's a dinner plate, my dear.
Is that gonna be Caitlin's head?
Oh,
Better not
God.
be. That would be a
she,
lot to.
She was using the thing to lift it.
Your girlfriend to visit this morning.
What did you do?
I made her a snack.
No, after a line like that, it's not, because that's such an obvious.
I'm not that crazy.
Oh, it's a cupcake.
Yeah, no. After a line like that, they wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it might be like
it's
a
too-
hand
it's
or
too-
something.
It's too good of a double entendre, you know. I made her into a snack.
Now, make her go away. Please. Send her on her way in. And you can have powder back.
Just go. We'll leave and never come back. We'll put this behind us. You'll never have to see him again, Powder.
Shut up!
This was not the finale that I was thinking this would lead to. Caitlin. Oh no.
Everyone betrays us, Jinx. Vander. Her. They will never understand. It's only us.
What about you, man? You just left that there?
That takes like 10 minutes to spin up. You're doomed.
I want them all to be friends. Yeah, like...
That...
Drop the gun.
Handcuff yourself? Oh, Jinx. No, a little late on that, Vi.
Remember! Picture Milo! Clagger!
Wait, why? Why Milo of all people?
What just happened? Did she just kill Silco?
I don't know. I don't know which. I don't know.
That has to be Silco's chair. I don't think she'd shoot Vi. Oh no! Oh God!
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This... How are you doing this to me, Arcane? These are the bad guys. Oh man. Oh, I'm actually tearing up a little bit there.
That was see, Silco's not a bad guy. He just made a evil potion that turned people into monsters? Why did we hate him?
No, don't. You're gonna sit in it. Oh, Jinx.
Different.
I know you guys don't have the words for it, but it's a different type of love at that point.
Changed too.
Although, hey, maybe not that kind of love. You gotta be careful with my words here. Oh God. Oh my God, no! So, I'm pretty confident right now there is going to be a season 2.
I support Councillor Talus's proposal for peace.
Oh shit! Okay, we can get them. Just push them out of the way. Get back to the important people. Okay, good. Oh, you're still around. This is the slowest projectile in history. Wait, where didn't she fire it from that location?
Yeah, what?
What is the arc of this thing?
I think you're right. I think it just is a slow projectile.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I guess there is gonna be a fucking season 3 or 2.
Season 3. We haven't. That's how powerful season 3 is. It's so powerful it skips season 2. Well.
All right.
Okay. That was not what I was expecting.
Okay. That worked. That was all right. I liked the end.
Yeah. We're just gonna focus on the biggest terrorist attack in the entire city's history. We're just gonna end on that note and just hope you show up for season 2 to find out all the repercussions of that.
It'll be fine. It'll be I wonder. Yeah, we're gonna find out who survived.
I am guessing Mel is probably dead.
Yeah. It's I wouldn't put it past them if it was just her.
Yes,
like if it was literally just her that died. Because Jace is there, Victor's there.
I think
Jinzo from Yu-Gi-Oh is there.
Possibly Victor dies.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh God, no. No, he wouldn't, because then he'll probably flip also and be like, "No, we gotta use the hexcraft. We gotta use it fucking now."
Like, I think, he's gonna go all hexcrafty. Like, he's gonna use his Mr. Deeds leg and like block the rest of the explosion from killing Jace.
Possibly. I mean, if they kill Mel and Victor in the same blow, though, then that leaves Jace to go full totalitarian. Like, immediately.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's not grounded anymore. He's gonna hook up with MILF and go on a crusade.
Oh god, that's a possibility.
Which is an improvement.
Yeah, oh my god, that episode, man. Like, kudos on everything involving Silco and Jinx. I felt that ending, and then Silco and Jace's scene was excellent.
Yeah, Silco is like the highlight of this whole series.
Yeah, him and Jace are arguing in my head for the best characters. At least my favorite.
Yeah. Jace is really good with his chemistry with Victor, but I think it's no competition. Like, Silco is the highlight of this series.
I think that actually might stem back to the same problem we've had with everything else involving the council, is that we don't know enough about the internal politics to know what other stakes there are to like understand what's happening, like for the other characters. And so like Jace and his crusade come off as like truly righteous and like the right course of action, even though it's like the tough choice to make. It comes off the right decision because we're not seeing any of the consequences for the decision from the upper city. We're just seeing it from the undercity's perspective, where Silco is, and we're seeing all of Silco's struggles, and that's where we relate to him more, is that like we have a better picture of what's happening in the undercity than anywhere else.
Yeah. The undercity has it bad, and they like see when everybody's like freaking out about independence, it's like we don't know what the undercity is doing. Like, I made the joke in like one of the first episodes where it was like how can we be first class citizens without second class citizens? And now like 9 episodes later, I'm like, is that
it still applies?
That's still the best explanation I could come up with.
Yeah, like we have no idea. Like maybe we missed it while we were talking, but we had subtitles on the entire time, so I don't know if we did or not. I didn't see anything in there about like what kind of trade goes up and down like the port. Does the Undercity provide some kind of crucial materials to the upper city?
Yeah, as far as we can tell, it's just Shimmer.
Yeah, it's just Shimmer, which at that point just cut it off. Like, look, I get it. America has some great trade routes with Mexico. Like, we have valuable materials that we get from Mexico. It's important that we keep trade open with Mexico. It's why the whole border debate's so big. It's like, but if the only thing we were getting from Mexico is fentanyl and cocaine, and that was the only thing that we knew that we were getting from it, I would have no problem shutting that border down.
It's just drugs.
And throwing away the key. Like...
No, we should double open it.
Double open it.
But yeah, no, it's like the like I don't know what the big deal with, or I don't like. I mean, obviously it's like, oh, they just like don't want to give up their land. They don't want like another nation that close to their border. Like there are like concerns that make sense, but it's like you have all of the problems that would come with that, except if you gave them independence, they might be nice to you. And here they definitely won't be.
Yeah, it's like that element of the series needs much more fleshing out. It is enough for the first season and the events that are being pushed forward that we understand that, okay, the council doesn't want to detach itself from this section of the city, but
I mean, I think they're pushing forward too much without establishing.
I would agree. I think that is something that they need to resolve as quickly as possible in a season 2, because obviously,
well, I don't know. It almost feels undone at this point, because now
I'm right there
war
with
the Undercity is like they tried to assassinate the whole council with a big old bomb. Like, the war with the Undercity makes perfect sense right now.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. But like, it's possible to actually explore those elements through War with the Undercity. So here's an example. Suddenly, there's some kind of supply that they're running low on. Let's say, just for simplicity's sake, gunpowder. Like, gunpowder is made in the Undercity because it's coarse and dangerous and whatever, and it's imported up north.
It gets everywhere.
Yeah, of course, it's Anakin Skywalker's weakness. So what we see is in season 2, we see the Piltover, the enforcers running low on ammunition. They're going to have to resort to more close-hand weaponry because they can't afford to keep their weapons stocked. And we could learn that through, like, ever since the war started, we've been cut off from our ammunition supply. All the ammo's made, all the best ammo is made in the lower city. We have some refineries up here, but we don't have any of the raw materials. Like, you could start establishing that stuff in the second city. But I agree with you that I think it's a little late in the game to be establishing that stuff when we had multiple counselors that we could have gone a little more into and learn about, like, what their roles exactly do. Like, what do they cover? Like, what do they cover in the city? Because Jace is all about the technology, and he's the impromptu head at the current, but, like, Jace is all about technology. Who's in charge of security? Who's in charge of whatever? Like, just go down the list, and, like, if there are different characters here that could have, like, a deeper connection to the Undercity, so they're actually more concerned about it being separated. There are ones that have less of a thing to deal with it. You could have them, more willing to give. I feel like maybe that opera scene could have been filled out a little bit more in, like, episode 4 or 5?
It was one of the early episodes.
One of the mid episodes.
But it's like... See, okay, you think it could have been fleshed out more, and I think it could have been emphasized less. Like, if it's not a big deal, then the holes don't matter, right? Like, but they're making it such a big deal that it needs to be fleshed out more. But it's so detached from, like, most of what's going on.
Well, no, but it wasn't. It wasn't, because, like, the whole impetus for all these conflicts was whatever happened at the bridge, the rebellion at the bridge that was led by Silco and Vander, which was all about fighting for the independence of the Undercity. And then Vander retreated and built the Undercity to what it was. So, like, that was the underlying thing, was that Silco and Vander was okay being the Undercity, while Silco was all about building up the nation of Zon. That was the key difference between them ideologically, and that is what sparked everything that follows. And it's almost what ends everything that follows, because it's that deal that tempts Silco, and it's giving up Jinx that ultimately we learn was going to prevent that from happening. Like, I think it's emphasized enough. It's just not built up on the side. You need structures to support. You need support struts from the side. Like, the central pillar is really strong, but you need support struts keeping it up, and we don't have enough of those right now. And I think we're at the point where, like, you're not going to be able to get enough of them in time for it to completely sustain itself. It's always going to be kind of flimsy. So there's that.
Yeah. It's like they glossed over a lot of it, and then at the end there, they kind of, like, undid it. They undid the necessity for, like, explaining it. So it would really only have, like, improved the first season to have more of it, but at the same time it would have lengthened scenes, it would have added additional scenes.
Well, no, I mean, I know a simple solution. Just cut out the firelights. Just cut them out.
Yeah. The firelights.
You know what you could have done with the firelights? You could have the firelights somehow tied into the manufacturing and production that goes into the upper city. Like, you could, I don't know, but maybe they have, like, they're part of the mines or something like that. I guess the implication is that the mines, maybe that's what they keep bringing up, the mines that are in, I think those are in the Undercity. So I guess we have to presume that's the raw material they get, but, like, it's
that they're getting,
But that's like, it's so thin. It's so thin to work with. We need something a little meatier to establish that.
Yeah, like the firelights are the, like, are the uncomplicated solution. Like, oh, is it war? Is it freedom or independence or succession, or, there's, like, not succession, secession. there's all these complicated solutions that are like, they're not good for everybody. And then you got the firelights, and they're like, oh, but our way is objectively the best. And it's like, okay, but that's not interesting. Like, yeah, great. If this was real life, we would want the solution that works great for everyone. But this is a show, and introducing that solution.
Well, because the show has handled it very realistically in that any solution you propose in reality is going to detriment someone. It's like there is no perfect thing until you reach a non-resource based society. What's the term?
Post-scarcity.
Thank you. Post-scarcity. Until you reach a post-scarcity society, someone's going to get gypped. It's just an unfortunate consequence of how everything functions.
Of how scarcity works.
Yeah, of how scarcity works. It's just
it's
so when you introduce a group who's like, yeah, we're kind of hungry in places, but we're doing all right, and we're all peaceful, and yeah, we raid things occasionally. Like, they seem really uncomplicated. It feels like you're missing there's a lot of like sharper edges we need to show that they're not doing the best. Like, the idea of like they live in this great kind of utopic situation. We need to offset that by showing people actually being like maybe super ill or maybe genuinely starving. Like, I don't know. I feel like the people in that utopic thing would be more like the people we saw down in the shimmer slums, or whatever you call them. The people who are addicted to that shit. Like, I feel like that's more like what the Firelights, like, that's what it should look like.
Yeah. Just something. This, like I said this in the last episode, there are extra bits.
Yeah.
And the council and the Firelights are extraneous to me anyway.
I feel like the council is much more workable than the Firelights. I just feel like the world building needed a second draft of exposition. Like you know how the exposition needed a third draft, I think, in earlier. I got a lot better later on, but I think
exposition's hard, especially at the beginnings are bad because a lot of people feel like you're supposed to do exposition at the beginning when it's like that's not the case. Like, you should, like,
hey, that's me, but you already know I'm gonna tell you things I could probably show. Welcome to the world I live in. What? It's the exposition.
I fucking love that.
It is so. I've listened to it on loop for like an hour at one point. I went kind of insane with it. It's great.
Yeah, but people think you need to do it at the beginning, and it makes sense from like a small brain perspective that it's like, oh, but if I don't tell people what's going on, they won't understand it. And it's just like, well, that makes sense, but you don't have to explain it in like the worst way possible. Because what happens when you need to introduce something later on? Like, you're basically like tricking yourself into front loading the beginning of the show with bad scenes. So even if somebody's like, oh, this show, it gets better later, you know, that's how that happens.
That's how Final Fantasy 13 happens.
I don't think exposition was the problem with the first 20 hours of Final Fantasy 13.
Actually, no, it has the opposite problem, though, I think about it. Like, that, I was just wondering, like, what would a story where you don't explain anything until the very end look like? And then I remembered Final Fantasy 13 exists, where they don't even explain it at the end. They just help you look into the data logs and hope you figure it out.
And again, a video that I should have made this year for one of my patrons. Sorry, I couldn't I couldn't make that happen, but like they asked me about world building, and I put a lot of thought into it, and I think world building is like a honeypot. Have you ever seen those memes from like writers' Twitter where they're like, you know, it's like the Drake meme where it's just like actually writing the story and he's like, and they got like world building in my head for years, and it's like, yeah, and it's like
world building is fun. People love world building, but eventually you just have to sit down and write the damn story. Like, yeah, that's one thing when I gave, because I have written a short story collection and I've given it to Fatman as one of my beta readers, and the thing about that is, like, I just sat down and I'm like, well, here's the story I want to tell. And if it fits into, like, I can go back and I can refine it into the lore of my world if I need to somehow. If I need to, like, or better yet, what I could do is, the lore is all in my head for this setting. So why don't I instead change the lore to fit the story I want to tell? Like, you have the ability as a writer to change that, and it actually helped me grow, like, this world and setting out by being like, yeah, if I tweak it here, I can do this kind of thing in this story, and then that can have repercussions elsewhere.
Yeah, world building and, to me, even character backstory is for the author, not the audience.
Yes.
Like, you know, telling them, sometimes it's unavoidable. Nothing's like set in stone. Like, I'm sure that a story where absolutely none of the world building was expressed to the audience, I'm sure that would fall very flat in a lot of places. But if you're explaining the world in a way that's not immediately, or that's not I don't want to say immediately, but in a way that's like not like relevant to the story, then you're wasting their time. And if you're explaining it solely in ways that are directly related to the story, you're spoiling with structure. You're like over structuring it. Like, there are scenes, I'm gonna use like the first RWBY book as an example, the coffee one.
Yeah.
Where they gave us this like backstory scene of like Coco being like claustrophobic, and then they like immediately put her in like a dark enclosed space.
Yep.
And I'm just like, that's not good writing. Like,
now like, clarify.
You wrote the backstory.
It's better than typical RWBY.
Yes. Which is
what E.C. Meyer excels at. It's better than typical.
Better than typical RWBY. Yeah, you got that solid 3 out of 10 right there, buddy. But yeah, it's like backstory informs the characters. It doesn't inform the audience. And if you're using it, like you came up with a cool thing and you want to tell the audience, you're missing the story part of it. You're missing the storytelling. And I feel like that,
how did we get on this?
They did a lot of backstory in this.
They did a lot of backstory in this, but I think it actually really worked to show us like different connections and like, I think in general this show is excellent. I think the show is excellent. I'm not gonna, at least from first watch, from everything, even we're highlighting a bit of problems. That's fair, but I would give it a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. I think. I mean, I know that's giving number ratings, you know, but I think that's about where it sits with me.
Above average, sure.
But I definitely think, I've seen people give it 9s and 10s, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know, guys. Hold off. I mean, here's the thing: the animation is chef kiss.
The animation is really good. I follow on YouTube 2 different booktubers who both reviewed this show and gave it like glowing reviews. I didn't watch the reviews. I just like saw like
the blurbs,
you know, the thumbnail, and they're like, raising the bar, best show of the year. And these are like booktubers. So like they mostly experience their media through literature and stuff. So it's just like, oh, they have good opinions.
Oh no, anyone that says just because you I read a lot of books, so I know what good storytelling is.
The book was better, guys.
Anyone that thinks that doesn't understand, like, because like when it comes down to different media.
But now I like wonder if they're like if they're like so blown away by this because it's like the animation, and they're like in their own condescending way being like, oh, stories are for books, animation is for shows. And it's like, you can have both, guys. You can have both.
Now I've seen a bunch of people praising this. A lot of people love this show. I think it's getting overpraised, but
this wasn't like, the best thing.
Yeah, they're saying it's the best. I mean, it did blow freaking Squid Games off the top charts. So
I mean, Squid Game blew everything that came before it off the top charts. You know, like
So
it was like Squid Game set the record, and then Arcane came out and like broke it in like the next week. Squid Game is better. Squid Game, it's is better.
I don't know if I agree with
So-
it. Now, I've not seen it. I've seen deconstructions of Squid Game because I just had no interest in the show, if I'm being frank. And I'm probably not the best source, but from what I saw of Squid Game, it has problems.
Sure. Yeah,
well,
it does. Most of the problems come from like convenient things happening.
As I hear, that's a lot of the detective arc.
A lot of the detective arc is very convenient. And the detective arc, parts of the detective arc are like the weakest stuff.
Yeah, as I understand it, those were reshot for that series. Like those were reshoots added in post. If you notice, they never interact at all with the main story. Like there's one scene where it gets close, and it's just really. I'm not going to get into a show that I haven't watched, but I've seen deconstructions of. I feel like I feel bad arguing from that kind of point, but like I would argue from what I know of Squid Game, I would argue Arcane is better, but I don't. Again, I think that it is being overhyped. It needs a little taming.
They're too different. Like Squid Game's okay, they're too different, but they're very similar. It's got the same kind of like class structure. But, like, in Squid Game, the class structure is how the people on top are pitting the people on bottom against each other. And in here, it's like the people on bottom are, like, trying to, like, gain, you know, like, they're trying to, like, rise up.
Yeah.
And there's less of that in Squid Game, maybe in, like, Squid Game Season 2, because, like, the end of Squid Game was really stupid. It's not to make this about a different show, but like Squid Game was set up for a season 2 as well, and it's gonna be pretty stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, who would dye their hair red? Just looks wrong. Anyway,
yeah, but it's like the people, the characters that we spend the most time with are undoubtedly the sole focus of like the core of the core focus of Squid Game, not the sole focus.
Yeah,
but all of our numbered contestants, and in here, it feels like we have a lot of core elements like that aren't the focus. Like the you know, we've talked about them a lot, but like it feels like that core like emotional impact between Powder and Vi and you know, Jace and Victor and Silco and everyone Silco involves with, like those feel like they should have been the core, but it felt like they tried to be so much bigger than
I
that.
feel like the biggest issue with a lot of the extraneous elements that we've complained about is that we don't get more character from them. Like, I feel like all the elements that we praised, like, again, were like these big character-driven moments. I just feel like they failed to really connect us to the characters that are involved in those subplots. So, the Firelighters, we only had Echo. We had one Firelighter to represent the whole, and he's a good kid overall, and he's...
And Bat Boy.
Yeah. And Bat Boy, who's just... He's awesome. I mean, to be fair, 10 out of 10, Bat Boy. And then on the flip side, you have the Council, who we get Jace and Mel, and only a little bit of Mel at the end, really. We don't know much about her going into. We just know that she's politically savvy. Like,
yeah, and I feel like that was like placeholder for a personality, and now she's either dead or not dead. In which case, why even set up that whole explosion? Like, if that explosion doesn't kill Mel, who was right next to it when it went off.
What if she's horrifically injured and Victor suggests that Jace use the Hex Tech core or whatever to heal her? Like, what if that's the solution he offers? Is like, what if she's just horribly injured? I mean, I need to see how big that explosion is going to be. It's not going to be super big. It's going to be like a normal explosive for her, because what was the propellant was the crystal, not anything else. The explosives were just regular explosives by the looks of things.
I mean, the show went hard in a lot of places.
Yes,
but expecting it to kill off the Council, like, that's like half the characters that we got to know. I mean, Jace and Victor, they were the second mains. and killing off both of them.
Yeah, I don't
like
think that's likely.
you're just left with a gaping hole in the story.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the way they position that, he is right to the left. Jace and Victor are right to the left of Mel, and you're aiming right for Mel. So it's like, if they're not going to kill off Jace, they're probably not going to kill off Victor. They might kill off Mel, and I think that, like, the thing is, that's a real shame, because Mel didn't get a lot to work with other than being a cog in the gears for Jace, effectively. She started getting something. Maybe we'll get more in a second season if she somehow survives. I don't know how they're planning on doing that. Maybe the bomb goes off after hitting the window instead of, like, going inside, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever they do with that explosion is, I mean, for a future discussion, but this season it had a lot of stuff that worked and a lot of stuff that didn't.
I wouldn't say a lot of stuff. I would say just there was like 2 or 3 things that just kind of stick out as you could have really done with a second draft on the fleshing out of that.
Okay, was fighting Robo Arm Lady strictly necessary? Like, it feels like a plot thing. Like, she did it earlier, she did it later. It shows character growth, but, like, from, like, you know, not from a plot perspective, but from a story perspective, was it strictly necessary? I don't.
What
think
happened
so.
to her before she went to go fight Robo Arm Lady, whose name I am sadly forgetting?
She broke up with Caitlyn because the council said fuck
that was
you.
The Jace scene. She had the Jace scene. She walked off from Jace. I think that was her thing.
Oh yeah, no, she had the robo
Yeah.
arms. Yeah, she.
This was
so,
her.
yeah, no,
climactic
that happened
thing.
after the.
Yeah, so basically
That happened after the Jace scene.
So yeah, I think plot wise that makes sense. What she has this power, like yeah, she's angry that Jace.
Yeah,
isn't.
it felt like she's just getting revenge. Like it felt like I felt like it tried to be a display of character development, but in a way that sort of undermines her development.
You know, I actually I think it's a bit of regression. Like she's just on the warpath. She got a taste of this power. She has the ability to fight in a way that she couldn't before, and now she's like, I can take the fight right to Silco. So she comes to Silco.
So you think it was intentionally showing regression?
I think it was intentionally her being like tunnel visioned, and like. I don't think she had a clear arc, if I'm being honest. She didn't really change throughout the story other than realizing that Powder has become Jinx. And that's, I think the big realization is that her sister is like slipping farther and farther away. I think that's really her arc, even though like she's still trying to cling to that. And I think that's what that was she's going here. She's going to beat the shit out of Silco. She's going to get her sister back. She's going to run away and be happy, effectively. She's not thinking ahead.
Wait. Hold on. Did I mishear you?
I possibly said something stupid. I don't know what I said.
What did beating up Arm Lady have to do with like getting her sister back? I don't think anything.
She's the main bouncer. Like basically she was walking into Silco's main base of operations. This is where Silco is based. So she's like, I'm gonna go fight Silco. I'm gonna beat him up. And Arm Lady's like, everyone leave, I'll take care of this. And they fight because she's the bouncer. It's like,
okay.
Yeah, that's basically it. She was basically just the thing in the way of her getting to what she thinks is Silco.
All right.
Also, I think she has a bit of a grudge there. I'm not afraid that you can inject a little character
obviously she has a grudge, but I thought it was in character.
Yeah. I feel like you just need a few more like 1 or 2 little tiny in between scenes to kind of show like Vi kind of going along her merry way, like making these decisions. I don't know. I feel like she just kind of shows up places and just does things. Like they make sense, but again, like I go back to like, how did she find Jace? like that's, how many people can just walk into the city's most powerful person's house and just say, hey, you want to go start a fucking class war?
Yeah, class war, woo!
But yeah,
revolution.
So like, there are things that she does that make sense. It's just sort of like, I feel like we need like a little something to establish her on her way to these things. I don't know.
Yeah, like the difference between
It's a nitpick for
what
me.
she's doing for her and what she's doing for like her goals. They bleed together in like, I don't want to call it like a bad way, because it's fine. It just doesn't feel like polished enough. It feels like it should have been more polished than it was.
Yes.
Like if she really wanted to beat up Arm Lady and like just like,
I feel like that's probably a little more setting up for a season 2 type deal, because that Arm Lady's totally taking over after this.
Yeah, should have killed her.
Should have killed her.
You know,
I mean, I thought she had.
We gotta leave some pieces on the board for season 2.
But everything like the real core focus of the story, which was Caitlyn, Jace, Jinx.
Was Caitlyn even a core part?
She got the entire. She got Vi out of prison. Like, that's a pretty big chink.
But okay, but how much would have really changed if like Marcus had got Vi out of prison? Like Caitlyn being the daughter of a counselor didn't even matter that much.
I thought like the biggest thing is I thought they kind of started rushing the emotional closeness between Vi and Caitlyn. Like,
I thought they should have rushed it much harder and much faster. Like, I like, yeah. If it was like a true love thing, then yeah, I felt like that was rushed. But I felt like they could have easily made it more potent by turning it into like a lust thing.
Yeah.
Where they just like fuck. and it's like, you know, it's like
kind of start like you could have it go any direction from there, where it like spirals into true love, or maybe it spirals into like animosity, or it spirals into whatever, because like
or for her to like bring that up when she's trying to convince Powder Jinx to, you know, come back to being Powder,
and then Jinx is just, just like, but will you let me sleep with you? Like when we were kids? Yeah, sure. Like that.
Yeah, like when we were kids? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't think about it too much. It'll be fine.
Okay, so the core I should probably more accurately refer to: Vi, Jinx, Silco, Vander to some extent, Jace, Victor. I think all those, which I think were the main cores of the story, all super strong. I think those
super strong. The vestigial bits were vestigial. Like,
I feel like then you get like the secondary tier where it's like maybe Caitlyn, you get Mel a little bit, Heimerdinger,
the fire lighters.
Well, I actually I'm going to put those on a third tier, honestly. Echo might be second tier, but on the third tier you get the firelighters.
Yeah, well, I mean, like in the beginning, Echo was definitely like second tier.
Yeah,
and then he became the head of the fire.
And I thought the second tier was really well done. It was okay, I should say. It was serviceable. And then you have the third tier, which is the council, the firelighters, a little bit of like the details of the city. Marcus, maybe. Got the Marcus dead. I feel like those needed some extra polish.
I feel like Marcus should have been much more
important. Yes,
high tier.
I
feel like they could have elevated Marcus to maybe even like the primary tier of like.
Well, you know why that is,
core
right?
Players.
You know why that is. He doesn't have a very interesting design. Like
his design is okay.
His design is okay, but like it's not Jinx. It's not. He doesn't have a multicolored hair thing, or he doesn't have like the chiseled brawn of Jace, or the crippledness of Victor, or the weird arm shoulder things that don't come off during sex like Mel. All right, I'm getting the signal that it's time for me to wrap up. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful time. This was a great series to go through. I'm glad that I could drag Fatman back into it. Remember that if you like this content, you can support it by liking this video, subscribing, ringing that bell, and if you want to go the extra step further, you can go over to mine or Fatman's Patreon and donate $1 or more to gain access to the Frostbite Discord server, the Tundra, where me, Fatman, Dashi Lee, and a whole slew of other members of the community, such as the Sketchy Huntsman, are regularly active. Please join us for fun community activities such as Bad Fanfiction Night, which I host every Friday night at 10 p.m. Every time I can with my co-host Twilight Guardian. With all that said, I think I know there's more to cover, but like I have time constraints, unfortunately, for me today.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we did an okay job of covering what needed to be covered.
We mostly covered the problems, but I love this. I love this series. I can't wait for a season 2. And I hope you'll all catch us there when it comes out. But for now, we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Bye.